everybody, Noreen here. Thanks so much for joining me today on my channel. Today I've got the February 123 sketch and layout for you, and I'm going to be creating it using the beautiful Ever After collection from Creative Memories. You can see it's a lovely pastel collection, really geared at weddings. It consists of the paper pack, which I've got here, some beautiful die cut frames. Look at those are really lovely, and then very intricate and beautiful embellishments. You can see that there. So I'm going to be using some of those. And it also has some really pretty stickers and variety mat cards that I'm going to show you in just a minute. The collection also comes with a beautiful sage green cover set, fast to fab refill pages, and it can also come in a gift box. So it'll be perfect for the upcoming wedding season. Now the colors themselves, as you can see, are really pretty greens, kind of sage and mid-tone green, a blush, and then a slightly darker red tone. And then there's some really nice wood grains in the collection as well. So I think this will be quite versatile, and not just for weddings, but you're going to be able to get some really pretty feminine and outdoor spring, Mother's Day, that kind of theme. The paper that I'm going to be using today is this leaf pattern on one side and this gorgeous darker wood grain that looks like it's got some, almost like a wood cut or wood burned design on it. So I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to be using a couple pieces of beige cardstock. And here are those matte cards I was telling you about. Now, the really nice thing about the matte cards this time is that they're shaped. So you can see that there's some beautiful shapes to them. Of course, we have the matte cards that have designs on them, phrases, that kind of thing. And then the larger size matte cards, which are beautiful for journaling. And I'm definitely going to be using some of these for my actual mats. I keep holding on to these matte cards, and then I kind of say to myself, why aren't you using them? So I'm going to definitely use a bunch of these matte cards today. And then the stickers are also really beautiful. You can see the two different kinds of greens, the rose colors, and then there's that darker, almost red rose color. And you can see that there's a full sheet of sentiments, icons, and borders. So we're going to definitely use some of those stickers in our final layout as well. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the 123 layouts, it gets its name because we use one piece of the double-sided pattern paper. We use two pieces of cardstock, or you can use your album pages for your layout base. And then we make the entire layout with just 3 cuts. And the reason that it's so easy to make is because I give you a cutting guide and a sketch. So let's look at that sketch for this month. You can see it's a double page layout, and we've got some strips going down the side as well as strips going across. Room for up to 7 photos. You could actually even put an 8th photo in here. And then our embellishment sort of triangle, and depending on if you add that extra photo in there or not, that could also be a space for your title and your journal. Notice on the sketch that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strips of paper here. And the reason that we get 6 strips with just 3 cuts is because we stack our papers. We're going to cut first at 4 inches, then cut again at 8 inches, and that will give us 3 4-inch by 12-inch strips. Then we're going to stack all 3 on top of each other and do our final cut through all 3 at 0.5, half an inch, and that's going to give us 3 3.5-inch by 12-inch strips and 3 1/2-inch by 12-inch strips. So let's get going with the cutting, and I'll show you how simple it is. So I would really like to make sure that some of my strips, whichever of my strips that I use to feature this wood grain, has some of this nice pattern here. So I'm going to make my first cut at 4 inches there. The back side is an all-over pattern, so it doesn't really matter as much where we cut that. Let's go ahead and make our first cut at 4 inches. All right, next cut number 2 at 8 inches on the page, so another 4 inches, okay? And so now we have our 3 4-inch by 12-inch strips. We're going to stack those on top of each other, and then we're going to make our final cut at 1/2 inch. Now you may want to, if you're depending on your trimmer, you may want to cut them individually, make a couple extra cuts. But I do find that my trimmer goes through 3 pieces just fine. So I choose to do it that way. And just so you know, we definitely have a new trimmer coming in the near future. Our 12-inch straight trimmer has been around for quite a while, so it's time for an upgrade, and I'm really looking forward to hearing about that and giving it a try. Okay, so here's all my strips. I'm going to keep one strip facing with the wood grain up. I'm going to turn 2 of these strips over. I'm going to leave one strip, actually I'm going to turn 1 of these strips over, and I'm going to leave 2 of these strips with the wood grain up. So I've got my beige layout base here, my 2 pieces of cardstock, and let's go ahead and lay these pieces out. So I'm going to use the dark wood grain pattern over to the side, and you can see that there's 1 strip. So I'm going to take the contrasting pattern, and that's going to go up along the very edge. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my other 2 strips sideways, and they're actually going to tuck in just behind there. There we go. It's going to go across the page completely. And then my contrasting strip will go just below it, my contrasting 1/2 inch strip. Okay. So that's pretty much the layout right there. Just our nice strips and going across the page. So let's look at some photos. So I've got some photos of my wedding. You guys are going to be tired of seeing these photos because every time I do a new wedding layout, I pull out my own wedding photos. All right, so let's have a look at our photos. So I cut one down to 4 inches, and I think I might push this up just a little bit. It's gonna go like that, and just up. My first photo is gonna go down here. Another one here. I'm gonna have a different plan for here, and then I've got another square photo. Then up here, there's my handsome husband in his kilt. That's actually gonna overlap a little bit. Us on the beach. And there I am as a blushing bride. Actually, I think I'm going to move this one over here. So I'm going to use those 6 photos, and as I said, I've got room for actually up to 8 photos. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm actually going to use one of these as a title. I'm not 100% sure which one I'm going to use. To Have and to Hold, La Vie en Rose, or Happily Ever After. And then I had sort of thought that I was going to use a shaped mat, but I think I'm actually going to use one of the frames. Let me see here. I think I'm going to use the frame there for that kind of focal photo picture of us. And then so I want to bring something in down here that's going to also carry that sort of pink that I'm going to be using. So I mentioned that I'm going to start using these mats a little bit more. So I'm going to pull out the larger size. And I think I might use this one, which is the 4.5 by 6.5 for my journaling. And then I think I'd like to use one of these with kind of the rose colors as a photo mat. I think I'm going to use that one down here to mat that photo. So I've got the 4.5 by 6.5 there, and then this can just get shot over a little bit. Now I want to make sure that I use some of this beautiful intricate die cuts. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop those in behind, let a little bit of them peek out. But because I don't want to waste them, whatever would be normally kind of tucked in behind, I'm going to just trim that off, and then I'm going to use it in another area as well. So it's going to, you know, kind of look something like this. And then some stickers to finish it off. I think I might add the word bride over the photo of myself and groom over one of my husband, and then maybe some of these really pretty little flowers, or the rose colored flowers, just to kind of pick up that rose colored theme again. So that's pretty much it. as I said, it always comes together so quick with the 1, 2, 3s. I've got it all planned out, and I just have to go ahead and adhere it and embellish it, and then I will show you a photo of the final layout at the end of the video. Okay? As always, make sure that you check the description below so that you can go and get your free copy of the handout so that you can make this as well. And again, you don't need to use the ever after, although definitely take a look at it because it is a beautiful collection. But these sketches can be made using any papers and embellishments that you like. Okay? I look forward to seeing what you create with the sketch. Definitely leave me a comment down below if you use it, if you like it, if you create with it. And I'd love it if you shared this video with some of your friends on social media so that we can spread the 1, 2, 3 love. So thanks very much for spending your time with me today. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.